Assalamualaikum. My name is Haris. I'm from Puchong, Selangor. I'm 18 years old and I study at Polytechnic Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Shah.
My name is Nazrul Izham. I'm from Bangi, Selangor. I'm 18 years old and I study at Polytechnic Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Shah, Shah Alam.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Rudi. I'm from Kulim Kedah. I'm 18 years old. I'm studying Polytechnic Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz.
Trigonometry in Navigation. Let's start it.
What is trigonometry? Trigonometry can be defined as calculations with triangles involved with the study of lengths, heights, and angles. There are 6 trigonometric functions for which the relation between sides and angles are defined.
Used in navigation. Trigonometry is used to be set direction, such as the north, south, east, and west. It tells you what direction to take with the compass to get on a straight direction. It is used in navigation in order to pinpoint a location. It is also used to find a distance of the shore from a point in the sea. It is also used to be the horizon.
A car leaves city XYZ at a bearing of north 40 degrees east and travels in a straight line for 300 miles. How many miles north and how many miles east has the car traveled from the city? So let's say this is city XYZ. So this is north, south, east, west. The car is traveling in the northeast direction. So it's going this way. And the bearing is north 40 degrees east. So starting from the north line, we need to travel 40 degrees east, which means this angle is 50. Now we want to find out how far east he traveled and how far north. So if we draw a triangle, this is 50 degrees, and he traveled for a distance of 300 miles. We need to find x, which is how far he traveled east, and y, which tells us how far he traveled north. So what function should we use to find y? We have the hypotenuse, and y is the opposite side relative to the angle 50. X is the adjacent side. So to find y, we need to use sine. Sine of 50 degrees is equal to the opposite side y divided by the hypotenuse. So 300 times sine 50 is equal to y. We got to multiply both sides by 300 to isolate y. So now let's multiply those two values, 300 sine 50. So y is equal to about 229.8 miles. So that's how far north the car traveled relative to city XYZ. Now let's see how many miles it traveled east. We need to find x. Cosine 50 is equal to the adjacent side x divided by the hypotenuse. So we got to multiply both sides by 300 again. So 300 cosine 50 is equal to x. And so that's going to be about 192.8 miles. So that's how far he traveled east relative.
Conclusion of trigonometry. Firstly, we realize that trigonometry can be used in many areas, such as astronomy and architecture. They can aid in calculating many things. They can also be used in cars, desks, and benches. Without really climbing a tree, you can find the height easily with trigonometry. They can be so widely used in real-life application and is very useful for most architects and astronomers. Second, we can conclude that without trigonometry, life would be much more difficult. Without going through the troubles, you can easily find something. So we think that it was a good invention by Archimedes, and thanks to these many architects need not go through the trouble to calculate things. So it really helps in real life applications and not only in our tests and exams. The last of conclusion, trigonometry in navigation. First, spherical trigonometry is a prerequisite for good understanding of navigation, astronomy, GPS, INS, and GIS. Second, for the most accurate navigation and map projection, calculation, ellipsoidal forms of the equation are used. And lastly, it is much more pertinent to integrate course of spherical trigonometry in the engineering curriculum.